Okay guys, we got Herman in the chair today. This one's gonna be a fun one. Burst mullet with a brush back, okay? But this one's gonna be with a lot more texture. Last time I cut his hair was through a live. You guys are gonna see, again, not much to cut because we're growing it out. Last time he sat in my chair, I said we have to grow this in. But the good thing is because we still wanna grow it in, we're gonna play with the texture. It actually looked really nice because it was quite short, so we took advantage of it. Instead of just trying to brush it back and use a lot of product, we took advantage of the lengths and we added more texture. Or we didn't even have to add texture. Naturally, it had all the texture because it was short. So in this case, we're just gonna refine some of the graduation. And all I've really done here, we're gonna start right away, is I'm just gonna section this off naturally. There's no point, guys, in me to go and use clips because it's too short. Nothing will clip. Okay, so at this point, you just wanna wet the hair down and section this off more naturally. Just by doing that, look at this. I don't even need any clips. If I really wanted to get it out of my way, all I have to do is go boom, like this. You don't have to do much. You don't have to go and try to twist it because it's too short and you're gonna spend way too much time trying to twist something that doesn't really need twisting, okay? So step one, guys, like typically, we're gonna graduate it, okay? So the first thing we gotta do is reduce some of that weight through that round surface, just like this. Section 2, section 3, section 4, same process. Okay, head down. And look at this, we're gonna work our same exact way all the way towards the bottom of the nape. Okay, we want this to be as tight as possible because we're gonna have to taper this. And this is where we start elevating to reduce the weight, but we wanna keep the nape. Okay, so everything in here, guys, is gonna get short. And the reason for this is because we just want that clipper to blend in beautifully. But as we get towards here, we wanna start over directing to maintain a lot of this length. Okay, look at this, back to previous. And we continue. Okay, preserve all that in the crown. This is where I just want to reduce some in the occipital, but still using elevation. This is where I want to play a lot of the lengths with. This is where I need it to be tight because this is where the graduation has to come in for the clipper work. Okay guys, so at this point, the next step for me is I want to reduce a lot of that weight through the crown area. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back from the top and this is going to be disconnected with the side. So I'm going to pick this up and all I want to do is look at this. I just want to add a little bit more pieces in here that are shorter by going in and just adding more texture. The next step for me is refining the top. So we're going to go through the layer and really see if there's anything for us to cut. But again, as I brush this back, I could already tell it's quite jumpy. So I probably won't touch any of the lengths from the top. But again, it's good to go back into it and really see for yourself. Okay, I could tell that there's probably a lot more weight through the corners in here. So we're gonna lift this up and we're just gonna reduce some more. Okay, nothing to cut from the middle point. It's usually, especially because it's slightly thinner down the middle, it's usually the corners that we wanna clean up. So right in here. Okay, so the corner in here is refined. Now what we want to do is the same process in here. Okay, so we want to take it from this corner now and refine some more. And the reason for that is because, as I could tell right now, if I look at the hair, I could tell that the heaviness is actually coming more from the corner than it is from the top, or the middle point of the top. So this is all I want to reduce, while still being very intentional that I'm not reducing the graduation. Let's blow dry this, and then let's start our burst fade. Okay, so blow dry part is done. Time to fade this. Again, we want this to be a burst. So I'm gonna go in with my number 3 first. I'm gonna keep this as dark as possible in here. But as we get towards the back, we wanna make sure that all this is slightly getting dropped down. Okay, there we go. All right, next step, same process, number 3. Okay, now we take our outliner and follow that line all the way towards the front. All right guys, so at this point, number 2 is done. Time to fade this. Very important how we fade this. This is gonna be a descending technique because we gotta make sure that we're really utilizing the corners to make this pop. And what I need to do is make sure that in here, we're a lot higher than in here, okay? The fade's gonna be stretched out and that's how you get the burst. So step 1 is actually going in the area where we actually could go a little bit higher, so stretching the fade out. That's gonna go my one open right underneath my number 2. Now slightly closing. Okay, same process in here. Okay, now we're gonna go for our outline, and then we're gonna go back and really get to see how this is all sitting. All right guys, so at this point, same process. Again, we see that beautiful texture, but now it's time to burst around the ear again. So my one open, again, we want this area to be a little bit higher as well, but this is where we start not taking it as high. We could play a little bit more with the corners. We want to stretch it out as much as we can so we get to really see, we want to really see how this is going to sit. Okay, so far I'm very happy with how this is. We got to keep refining this, but this is the area where I want you guys to have a look on how this is also going to be blended. All right, so now look at this, guys. Again, we might still have to refine it, but this is how this outline is just going to pop beautifully. Okay, number 2, number 1, slightly closed, completely closed, one open. Okay guys, final look. Look at how all this texture is gonna come out. I've applied a bit of product, and the goal here is, again, we just want texture. Okay, this is how it's really gonna stand out. So from the back, leading up to the top, we just wanna see some beautiful texture, and this is what's gonna make that fade really stand out. All right guys, so this is my final look, and as you guys could tell, we have a beautiful burst fade that contrasts really nice with that dark hair, and you have that texture on top. Again, we didn't do too much, but we cleaned up some of the corners in here through our layer, and we graduated a little bit and retained a lot of that texture and length through the back. So this is gonna be a growing out process because we're still trying to brush it back, but there you guys have it. That's my final look. I hope you guys enjoyed it with a nice beautiful taper to the beard as well. If you guys have enjoyed this process, if you guys have enjoyed any of my YouTube content, we just released our Essentials program where there's 40 to 50 hours of content, not just on hair cutting, but on marketing, marketing, on business, on tracking sheets, on data sheets, so you guys can also know how to scale your businesses. The crazy thing is we still do Q&As on that program. So that means that you guys get access to me one-on-one in a small group setting where you guys could ask your questions, and we do live workshops as well. So if you're interested, click on the link below and I'll catch you in our Essentials program. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.